Welcome to this recorded webinar. My name is Dr. Allison Rainierson. Our topic today is choosing your major, and I am the Associate Director in the Career Services Office at Purdue University, Fort Wayne. The first message I want to share about choosing a major is that, as the slide says, it's okay to be undecided about your major, but it's not okay to stay undecided about your major. You need to actively be working on making a decision, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. What is a major? Well, major is basically a group of classes that specialize in a certain area, and it covers about 1/2 to 2/3, or sometimes more, of the course topics that you're going to complete in any one particular degree program. And 80% of students in the US change their major at least once. So if we look at college students in general, it's a very typical activity for students to change their major, consider other majors, add additional majors. It's very typical in the time in the life of a college student. And on average, students change their major more than once, and that's okay too. It's something we expect of college students in their college career. Now, a major doesn't always determine a career path. As you may know, there are some majors, let's say nursing, let's say education, some things like that, that seem to have an obvious career path attached to them, and that's fine. You can't become an accountant without having an accounting major. You can't become a nurse without taking those courses. So there are some majors that lead to obvious careers, but there's a lot of majors that don't lead to obvious careers, and actually that's one of the benefits of those other majors. Things like sociology, political science, psychology, and so on, English perhaps. And again, that's one of the benefits because there are so many different options and directions that you can go into. But sometimes it does make it a little harder to figure out what you want to do with the major in the end. But a lot of times, a lot of students will find themselves working on careers that aren't directly related to their undergraduate majors, and that's fine too. There's so many different occupations in the world that there couldn't possibly be enough majors related to those. And for many occupations or careers, a degree, a bachelor's degree, might be the minimum qualifications with some related experience. So do this particular activity if you would. Take a few moments, Google anthropology unlikely career paths, and you could find out some very interesting things about that. Anthropology is all about understanding people and cultures. So there's so many different directions you can go. And choosing a major is also a process. It's not something that you typically just one day decide and then that's the right decision. More often than not, it's going to be a process that you go through. Some people start this process earlier, some later. But the first step is knowing your interests, values, and personality, and knowing who you are. And a lot of times college students, traditional college students, are still in that process of getting to know themselves. But finding your interests, values, personality, and even strengths can be a good first step in helping you decide what might be a good major for you. Also understanding your skills and abilities. That'll be important in this process as well. Then also there's some research involved where you need to know what's out there. What are the majors offered to me? And we have that information to share with you on our campus, of course. And once you've decided a couple different majors and understand the requirements, then you can make some better decisions and finally commit to a major. So let's talk about exploring a little bit. Let's look at what's out there. You may not know what all the different majors are. You may not understand what all the different industries are in the world. So talk to your professors or other people in the industries you're thinking about. And so even like internships or just, informational interviews, things like that. Talk to those who are in some of these areas or who have studied these areas. Also, check out online resources. We have career assessments as well. And of course, career counselors in our office are available to speak with you about your options. And let's talk about these in depth. So, connecting with career services, we have an assessment in our office. It's called the Type Focus Assessment, and it's not even in our office. It's something you can do online through the Career Development tab and Go PFW. So you could take that Type Focus 7 career assessment, and then talk to a career counselor, either in person or virtually, and go over the results. And you'll learn a lot about your interests, abilities, values, and things like that. Also, getting involved and getting experience is important, as I mentioned before. How do you know if you like a certain career area or a certain major? Well, you got to try it out. So that might mean join a student organization related to that particular major or career field. There's over 100 different student organizations, and quite a few of them are specifically related to an academic department or major. Also, volunteering is an excellent way to be able to kind of see what the day-to-day activities are of a particular career field. And of course, internships, co-ops, part-time jobs, any kind of experience can give you some additional information to help you make a decision. There's online resources too. So we have several listed for you here. Indiana Career Connect, Career One Stop, ONET Online, Careers After College, LinkedIn Salary Information. One of my favorites is the Occupational Outlook Handbook, where you can look and see, okay, I think I want to be this career. How do I prepare to get into that career? What majors are expected? What degrees are expected? Is it a bachelor's degree? Is it a master's degree? And then also salary information is there too. So you can look and see, okay, in this particular career field, yeah, I could earn a salary that I would be interested in at that level. And then also you can find out information about the how much in need that particular occupation is, and is that career field growing or not. Now, here's some more things to think about too. And we talked about, understanding your values, interests, personality, and your skills, things like that. So make sure to connect with the people who know you best, and understand your values, interests, personality, and skills. So that's your peers, and that's your friends, and your a lot of other people in your life. But there's a lot of things that go into your values, interests, personality, and skills. Your partner or your relationships, the experiences you have. That's a great way to understand, again, values, interests, personality, and skills, is to get experience, get in situations where you are testing your values, exploring your interests, understanding your personality to a greater depth, and developing additional skills. So again, there's a lot of things that influence your decisions. And another way to help you decide is getting firsthand experience, as I mentioned before. So you might think of the obvious: internships, volunteering, things like that. But here's some other things to think about too. You could do research with a professor on campus. There's a lot of professors who are taking on undergraduate students or even graduate students to do research with. We mentioned volunteer work as well. Part-time jobs. You may not think that a part-time job at a fast food restaurant has a lot to do with what you think you want to do, but that's where you're going to see if you like supervision. That's where you're going to see if you like working in an atmosphere with a lot of other people, or you may decide, you know what, no, I prefer an office setting, or I prefer a setting where I can be outside, or I prefer a setting where, who knows what. But just starting to get some work experiences can help you make some basic decisions as well. If you're looking for an internship or job on campus, off campus, cooperative education, again, check out Handshake. Handshake is the online system that Career Services uses to post an employer's post jobs, co-ops, internships, all those things. So please check that out and see what's available. A great quote for you. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice, your own inner voice. You may have a lot of people telling you as well what they think you should major in, what area you should go into, but make sure that you're listening to your own voice as well. That needs to be the one that makes the decision. I'll tell you a quick story. I was once working with a student who was majoring in engineering and just really not doing well at all. And I had to have a conversation with him and say, you know what? You are no longer in this major. You've been kicked out of the engineering major because of your grades. And, I felt bad that this was going to be a tough conversation. But the student said, awesome. And I said, awesome, what's up? And that student said, now I can go into what I really want to get into, which is graphic design. And I said, okay, let's look at graphic design. And it was actually a blessing for him. But he could have avoided that whole negative, experience of not doing well in engineering courses, of probably losing money and time in tuition and fees and energy, etc. He could have saved himself all of that if he was able to have a real conversation with his family. His family was pressuring him to be an engineer, and he didn't feel comfortable having that conversation with his family to say, you know what, I am not interested in being an engineer. If he could have had that real conversation with them earlier, again, he could have avoided a loss of time and money and stress and so on. So in the end, as I mentioned, it's that inner voice that you need to pay attention to and be brave enough to have that conversation with others, and don't let them make your decisions for you. Now, as a reminder, we have lots of excellent services in the Career Services office, especially distance resources. We have career counseling available, individualized career counseling. We provide webinars. LinkedIn is an excellent resource as well to find jobs and get tips and maybe find internships and do networking also. Ask some professionals questions about their career field. But we can help you set up that LinkedIn account and use it to the best of its ability. Again, Handshake is where you can look up jobs and so many other things. But we can help you get signed up there. And again, that's through your career development tab in GoPFW. We can provide resume critiques virtually if need be, or in person. You can submit a virtual resume critique request on Handshake. You can email a resume to our office as well at careerservices@pfw.edu. And of course, we are available to discuss with you that Type Focus 7 career assessment. All of those are available to you. One of our final quotes of the day is, creating a life that reflects your values and satisfies your soul is a rare achievement. To invent your own life's meaning is not easy, but it's still allowed. And I think you'll be happier for the trouble. It's very important that you're going to choose something that you're going to end up enjoying. A job is something you're going to be at least 40 hours a week, usually, and sometimes a whole lot more. And it could be something, an area you're doing for years. So make it something you like. And I think you'll be the better for it, as the quote have indicated, because it doesn't feel as much like work, and it's not as hard to get out of your bed in the morning. You're going to go and do something that aligns with your values, aligns with your skills and your strengths. So in conclusion, evaluate your skills, your interests, and values to help you focus on a possible career option. Again, we can assist you with that in career services, and even help you align a major with what that career option is going to be. And start early and get experience along the way. Don't wait until you're a senior to decide, oh, I really liked studying psychology, but I have no idea what to do with it. Start exploring what to do with a psychology degree early on so that you'll be set up for success upon graduation. And ask for help from friends and families, members, mentors, career services, etc. Again, ask for help, but in the end, you're the one that's going to make those decisions. Again, this is Allison Rainierson from Career Services at Purdue Fort Wayne. Come and see us or come and visit us virtually. We're happy to work with you, and we want to assist you in this process. Have a great day.